Hi guys, forgot to do a video. Literally fell asleep on this one. Nathan Gorman vs Daniel Dubois post-fight reaction. Um, my prediction was Daniel Dubois unanimous decision win, and I think I fell into the hype of Nathan Gorman being a match for him. Gorman really didn't have that many ideas. First round was fairly, first few rounds they were just stuffing each other out. But what dominated me from what was the main thing for me and the difference in the fight in terms of class was Daniel Dubois' jab. Very effective jab. He's definitely improved since the Latte fight. He's more controlled. And he powered through with the jab. He pushed Gorman back. He hurt him. He dropped him. Gorman had a few exchanges. Did well to get back up from the first round and the third round. But I think Daniel Dubois ultimately had a bit more fire in his fists ring, and I think it was a power ultimately that made the difference. People were talking about Gorman moving around. He didn't move around that much. He stood there, tried to trade with Dubois, and tried to counter a few things. He didn't work the body as much as I thought he would. And to be honest, it was a bit of a poor performance from Gorman. People are praising him for getting up from the knockdowns and stuff, but ultimately, I think a lot of people thought this would be more competitive. Personally, I did myself. Gorman is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but Dubois, I believe, is a bit more levels above. And he showed that he can control his pace. He can control his aggression. He can be a bit gun hungry, Dubois, and just rush in. But ultimately, he's a fighter. He's the guy that he'll get you hurt and he'll go for you. He'll go for you. And we saw that. Dubois was controlled, more controlled than I've seen him in most fights. And Gorman showed a good movement, but it wasn't enough movement to really trouble Dubois. The jab, the reach was a big factor in this fight, which I thought it would be. Gorman cut his eye, so that a bit more added pressure. And Dubois kept his form pretty well. He wasn't really swinging, and he was a more stronger guy, obviously, so he was pushing Gorman around. He had more strength in the pocket when he was in the pocket. And Dubois was not afraid to let his hands go. Hit Gorman, hurt him, dropped him in the third with a good combination to the top of the head. Gorman got back up. I was bleeding. And when you're in the heart of battle, you've got to go through these things. Gorman did well. You've got to go through these things. He got back up, continued. And like I said, dominant performance from Dubois. You can't complain. I watched the fight and I thought it would be a bit more competitive personally. But Daniel Dubois, thoroughly out destroyed him. And maybe Dubois is above British level. We've got to start, Dubois is good. I mean, Gorman didn't come, Gorman I thought was a bit overrated coming into this. And I overrated him because I thought this was a good decision. I thought Gorman would give him a bit more trouble with the movement. But ultimately, Daniel Dubois is just too powerful for him. And Dubois, I think it's time to step a level up. I think he's ready, personally. I think he's ready. He's fought the reckless fights. He's fought the 12 rounders against Kevin Johnson to see the stamina. He's fought the domestic rival fight. I think it's time for him to go to British European level. I think it's time for him to go wider. I believe him and Joey Joyce will be a competitive fight. Definitely after watching the Brian Jennings fight, but I'll do a video on that as well. But again, Daniel Dubois brought it. He brought the power. And you guys let me know, who do you guys think he should fight next? Because there's a lot of guys he could fight. People, he was very vocal about fighting a Derek Chisora and believes he'll beat Chisora. We'll see. I'm doing this review after Chisora knocked out Spilka, and Chisora's looking fit and aggressive. Do I think Dubois can beat him? Yes. It's a 50-50 fight. I think that fight's a 50-50 fight. Chisora's a veteran, older, not as fast, but definitely looking much more constructive and looking much more. His form is much better, so you can give Dubois trouble. I would be picking Dubois to win that. Dubois Joyce, tough fight. Joyce is a tall opponent. Styles make fights, and that'll be an interesting fight to watch. But Dubois got options, and he's got options to fight. He's got options, I think anybody with a, I think the antidote to beat someone like Dubois is to have very good legs and good movement. Someone like a Usyk, even maybe a Joseph Parker. I think, or even a Michael Hunter would give him a little bit more trouble going up. But he's got good stamina. He looks like he's not shown any vulnerabilities on the chin. He's taken a lot of shots to the head. He's done a lot of swinging. But when you fight, he hasn't fought anybody with the same power that, let's say, even Parker has. Parker's not one of the most powerful heavyweights, but compared to Gorman, Latte, Kevin, all these guys, Joseph Parker's got power. Even Chisora's got enough power to hurt him. So if he's swinging and doing these exchanges, he needs to tighten his guard, put his hands up, and be a bit more smart. Because I feel like, don't get twisted, I think he's very confident in his ability. People say Dubois doesn't talk that much, he's quite quiet. No. He is very confident in his ability. I think maybe a little bit too confident. Because he relies on his chin, he relies on his power a lot. And there will be guys that will be able to take his power in the heavyweight division. There'll be guys that will be able to ride his punch. There'll be guys with good movement. There'll be guys that have got good chins to take his power. There'll be guys that can dish it out. You fight someone like an AJ, every punch, a jab, a right hand hurts. We saw in the Ruiz fight, Ruiz's head was getting snapped back multiple times from the jab and from the right hand. Ruiz took it, but it hurts. Deontay Wilder would be a crazy fight, because we know Wilder's got insane power. People a little bit jumping on the hype train of the Dubois at the moment, though. I saw a lot of things after the fight. Dubois beats Joshua Wilder. No, Dubois doesn't beat them. Dubois hasn't got the form. His inside game needs a lot of work. Gorman didn't really get in the inside and hit the body and rough him up. But someone like a Dillian White would be able to hurt Dubois to the body and rough him up. That would be a tough fight. Dillian White would beat him. I would definitely pick Dillian White to beat him easy. Even a Chisora would go for the body hard. So he's still at British level, and I feel like he can beat. He can fight the Joy Joyces, the Kabiyaos, maybe even the Pulevs. The Kawanaki. There's a lot of interesting fights out there for him. I think Dubois' style would go up good against someone like a Gerald Miller, who's a very stationary target. Miller's got a good chin. Well, we know why now, but Dubois would like someone like Miller who will just come forward, and I think Dubois likes when you come forward. So, impressive performance from him. 10 out of 10, couldn't complain. Got the job done. British title, well done, excellent. I like to see him fight some top contenders. I think he's ready. We'll see what Frank thinks. As for Nathan Gorman, he's got a lot to do. He needs to rebuild, and he can rebuild. He's young. He's really young. And this fight will give him a lot of confidence to go forward in terms of putting up a good fight, good battle. But I feel like he needs to focus more, maybe stripping a bit of that fat, because he did come in quite heavy. And maybe utilise a little bit more of the combination, But Gorman don't get twisted. Gorman will be back. I expect him to be back. I'm going to give a good accountable of himself in other fights. And Gorman vs Joe Joyce is a good fight as well. Gorman vs Bryant Jennings is also a good fight. He's a very useful heavyweight at British level, and he will come to fight. Or one thing will come to fight. So it was a good fight, good British level, British dust up, and onwards and upwards for Daniel Dubois. Let me know what you guys think.